Hello and welcome to Old Ways Gardening and Prepping. My name is Teresa. I would like to welcome you out to the shed of many names on this evening where we're going to have a little bit more fun with coffee. Yes, coffee, my favorite thing in the world. And there's many different things you can do with coffee besides just drinking it. You can also make extract with it. And I'm going to show y'all a spin on making a coffee extract. So, with that being said, let's have a little bit of fun. Alright, now, before we get started, make sure that your work area is clean and sanitized. Your jar is clean, your lid and band is clean, and your funnel is clean. Now, I just recently ground coffee in my coffee grinder, so I'm not so worried about this being perfectly clean because it's got a little bit of coffee grounds in it. Not going to hurt it one bit because that's the coffee that the grounds are from. Okay, now let's talk about different kinds of coffees. This is a medium dark roast. So it's going to have a darker, kind of smokier flavor to your coffee extract. We're not making a tincture, we're making an extract. Now, if you want a richer, bolder, stronger extract, use dark roast beans. And these are whole beans. Alright, for a lighter, if you prefer a more lighter flavored extract, use light roast or medium light roast, any bean like that. Use the beans that you love to drink the coffee from. That's a very important thing because if you don't like the coffee, then you're not going to want to use extract. Just make sure that you don't use flavored beans because that's going to mess up the final product. Use just plain coffee beans that don't have any flavoring or sweetener to it. And try, if you can, to use uh, single beans, not a mix. So, let's have some fun. Whoop, a little too much fun, apparently. Gotta be careful, can't get all riled up and go wild. You don't want to overload your coffee grinder. Now, with that being said, you're going to want, you don't want to powder it like you're going to make coffee. You don't want that. You want a coarse grind. Okay, now, like I said, coarse grind. There might be a few whole beans in there. That's fine. It's not going to hurt a thing. Because once the extract is ready, we got another project to do. So, I'm going to want up to a cup and a half of the ground coffee. I got something else I'm going to add to the coffee to give it just a little more oomph to it. Bring you right back as soon as I get the amount I need ground. See you here in a bit. Okay, I am done with the grinding of the coarse grinding of the coffee. We got about a cup and a half in here. Now, yeah, there's some fine grind in there. It's going to happen. Don't worry. Don't stress about it. We just gonna have to make sure that after we put the vodka into the jar that we agitate it real good and make sure that there's no big clumps. Now, with that being said, you can add a little extra boost of flavor into your coffee extract. Now, I'm going to add cocoa nibs, and these are raw organic cocoa nibs. Chocolate, pure chocolate, y'all, without any sweetener in it whatsoever. Now, it's going to give it a darker chocolate roasted coffee flavor. Now, if you have vanilla beans, you can split a couple vanilla beans down the center and put them in the jar. I'm trying to think. It might be weird, but if you want to add some dehydrated oranges in there, you can. Uh, you want to add some roasted crushed hazelnuts, you can do that as well. So, now, with that being said, I'm going to add about half a cup of the cocoa nibs into the jar. Oh, I love smelling them every time I open the bag. I'm going to have to get me some more before long. I'm getting really low on them. Alright. See, I just want to give the hint of it in there. I don't want it to overpower the coffee. But it is a medium dark roast, so they should balance out and play well together. Alright, now, with that being said, that's all I'm going to add to my jar. And that's 2 cups. Cup and a half of the coarse ground coffee, and I'm using a Sumatran coffee, and a half a cup of the cocoa nibs. Now, if you don't have the cocoa nibs and you're using the vanilla bean, you can do the cup and a half of coffee or 2 cups of coarse ground coffee. It's up to you. Now, it's an extract. It's all dried. If I had 80 proof vodka, I'd be using that now because it's dried. There's no moisture to worry about. Now, I've got the 90.4. I love how they came up with that one, vodka, because you use what you have. So, grab my fillet knife. No, that's not strong enough. We're just going to have to suffer through it. It's the pour control tops. And you're going to want to fill it up to the rim. And yes, they're going to float up for a while. You'll see in several days, it'll all start sinking down. I'm going to put yeah, that didn't go over well. Oh, that's water coming out of there. Okay. Now, you're going to want to agitate it really good. Make sure that it gets all mixed around in there. You don't want any air bubbles. You want to make sure that the vodka gets mixed with everything. Now, I'm not going to open the lid now because I know everything is floating to the top. When you notice, it could be a couple of days to 7 days, you will notice everything's going to float down. That's when you open your lid, your band and your lid back up and add more vodka because you're going to have to top it off because the beans and the cocoa nibs are going to soak up some vodka. They're dry. It's to be they are dried and it's to be expected. Hold on just a minute. Okay. Trusty old Sharpie. Oh man, I'm gonna murder that. Okay. Sumatran and oop, almost murdered that one. Cacao nibs. Extract. Okay, and it's 8:29:23. Man, I'm gonna roll tonight, I tell you. Okay, now you're gonna want to store this in a cool, dark area. Every couple of days, you're gonna want to agitate your jar. Don't shake it, just agitate it. Make sure everything. You saw me turn it sideways. Make sure your coffee and your cocoa nibs are getting mixed around. At the 8-week mark, it's ready. Or if you want it to go longer, let it keep going until you want to use it. The longer you let it go, possibility of it getting stronger. I'm going to let it go for 8 weeks, maybe a few days over, because I don't want, because it's already going to be plenty for it to extract out. I got plans, really good plans for the cocoa nibs and the coffee beans in here. And I'll bring you along for that one too because, yeah, waste not, want not. Alright, like I said, simple, easy. 8 weeks from this date, it will be ready. And I will bring you back. We're going to strain it. And we're going to taste it. It's going to be bitter, but we're going to taste it to make sure it tastes good. And then we'll go into another video using the cocoa nibs and coffee beans. Simple, easy, homemade, and yes, you can do it yourself. A lot of people wonder why make a coffee extract. You know those brownies you bake and you want just a little more oomph in them with some coffee or a little cocoa flavor, more cocoa flavor? Let me wait till that train goes by, Lord. Alright, sorry about that, y'all. It sounded like that train was fixing to come right through the shed, and it's nowhere near close to here. Sounds traveling really big tonight, which is odd because there's still leaves on the trees as a buffer. So, alright, trying to talk about the using of the extract. Talking about the brownies, if you want to add a little coffee flavor to it with a hint of more chocolate, this is the one to use. If you're It's getting about time to start thinking about making your holiday candies. You can always add the coffee extract to give them a little boost. They're wonderful. You can add them, yes, you can add them into donuts, into donut dough. There's many things. You can also add it into baked chicken as well. Many, many things. You add your vanilla, add a little of the mocha extract once it's done, not now, but when it is done. Simple, easy, homemade. Anybody can do this. You can get a hold of whole coffee beans. All you need is a coffee grinder, a jar, and some vodka. Simple, easy, homemade, and really good Christmas gifts, y'all. You can make it in like a half-gallon jar, just, double, triple the ingredients in the jar. Give them away as pint jars. Or if they don't bake a whole lot, jelly jars. Makes wonderful, wonderful holiday gifts, Christmas gifts, any extract. This is now the time when you really want to get to making them because that time will be here way before you know it and a whole lot sooner as time is flying, like it or not. Everyone, I hope you've enjoyed this video and it encourages you to start making your own extracts. Quit paying those ungodly prices at the store. And this way, you know exactly what's going into your extract. Simple, easy, homemade. Y'all continue to stock your pantries with food that will nourish and sustain you, especially extracts to make the food taste better. Continue to stock your medicine that will heal you, your protection, and the bare necessities that you will need to survive. Everyone, take care. I look forward to seeing you in my next video, and may you each be blessed. Hoot hoot. See you soon.